with the affidavit being released by the DOJ earlier today, people are scrambling to respond, and the guy that you see next to me is gonna get the first crack at it, but we've got several different attempts to explain what's going on here. First of all, Donald Trump decided to truth about it, saying affidavit heavily redacted, nothing mentioned on nuclear. So by the way, he wanted it to be released, so they released it. But if even one little bit, one letter was still sharpied out, that was going to be his defense. Everything they reveal makes him look worse. I don't know why revealing more would be a good thing, but that's what he's hiding behind. He goes on to say, nothing mentioned on nuclear, a total public relations subterfuge by the FBI and the DOJ. We gave them much. And then he describes how the judge should recuse himself. Again, I mean, that's even more of a dodge than the affidavit is redacted. What does it matter what the judge is doing at this point? First of all, the only things that have happened, as far as I know, since the raid, is that Merrick Garland came forward and explained the search warrant, and they released the affidavit, both of which were things that Donald Trump specifically individually requested to happen. So what is the judge doing that is bothering Trump so much? But again, it's a way to send attention away from him. Don't focus on him and the laws that he clearly broke. Don't focus on the document that he requested you take a look at. No, instead focus on the guy so we can have a talk about Epstein, but not too broad of a conversation about Epstein, because then that might lead back to Trump himself. Let's just focus on Reinhart for a little while.
I do think it would have been fun had they left in like a word, like complete blackout, nuclear, and then the rest is left out, just to appease him, right? Just to like no, Japan, like I don't know, whatever they have, just to like F with them a little bit, because of course they're not gonna say. That would be that's the whole point of this entire investigation. Stop making us feel like we're taking crazy pills. It is to secure classified documents that the public probably shouldn't know about broadly, right? Like that's what this whole thing is for, and this has been since February, y'all. We know that he's had these documents. The other thing I'm gonna say is, I made a joke about, the library, you've got to you can't check books out or periodicals out. You got to look at them through the thing and keep them in the library. Apparently, that's the same with documents, whether classified or not, when it pertains to the National Archives, and that most people who serve in the executive branch are briefed on whether or not they can, and generally Congress, like, okay, so you can check this out effectively, but you've got to like return it, or you it can't leave the premises. But they haven't done that for presidents because they assume, and again, this is the normalcy that's been broken by this administration. They assume that presidents wouldn't just take documents, so they've never actually briefed them or made them sign anything to say that no, you can't take documents and you agree to this. What an oversight, right? I mean, in terms of that transition, and it actually might end up helping him legally and the Trump team legally being like, well, I didn't sign anything, you didn't make me sign anything, and lo and behold, there isn't. Yeah, they can't necessarily hold him to it, even if what he did could have broken the various laws.
Yeah. So I read a theory once that it's possible that when we sold nukes to Pakistan, I believe, and this was a while back, so don't quote me on this, but it's just to give you an example, but you could see where this is going in any of these situations, that we somehow, in the nukes that Pakistan bought, not necessarily from us, made them so that they don't actually go off, okay? Now, if that's true, and it's in these documents, as an example, but it could be like 1,000 other things related to nuclear weapons, where they're stored, who has them, doesn't have them, does Israel have them, where does Israel have them? I mean, I can give you 1,000 examples, right? God, they would be so valuable. They would be so valuable and so dangerous. He left them in a goddamn closet. People, and they have surveillance footage of randos walking in with boxes and walking out with different boxes. Okay, I mean, these are the same guys who are like, stop the steal. Look at the voting areas. They're going in with boxes of votes. It's a voting area. Yeah, that's what they do, right? But when you talk about it with the top secret classified nuke information is said, yeah, don't worry about it. Continue to steal. Like, look, Trump fans, I don't get you, man. What's wrong with you? Like, if it was Bernie who's randomly keeping nuclear secrets in somewhere in Vermont, in Burlington, I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing, right?
Yeah.
But for Trump supporters, they're like, nope, my mind is out on loan to Donald Trump. God knows he needs it, but it's not adding any IQ points.
Yeah.
It's not cumulative, okay? Or if it is, God help all of you. They're like, no. So real question is to Trump supporters. Do you think he should just keep them? Was the FBI wrong?
Yeah, they do.
Should he just keep them like totally unguarded under regular routine? Regular routine, it is massively guarded by the military. No, not guarded. Well, he's got a padlock on it after the FBI told him to put a padlock on it, right? And today, one of the things that Trump was bitching about was like, they broke into my safe, right? Well, yeah, if you steal nuclear documents and put them in your safe, they're gonna break into it. That's how it works.
100%, yeah. And if I could answer for the MAGA world, yeah, they think he can have anything. They don't care. It's automatically declassified. It doesn't matter if he sold them. If he put a listing up on Facebook Marketplace, they wouldn't care. I really don't think that they would. But look, that first truth had a lot going on, and it might be that coming out of it, you're not entirely sure what frame of mind is Donald Trump after he got what he wanted, which was that the affidavit was released. I mean, he's talking about the judge and he's saying it's still redacted, there's no nuclear. Maybe he's perceiving this as good news. Well, he did truth a little bit later on. It was briefer. It was in fact only 2 words, 2 of his favorite words, witch hunt. All caps, 3 exclamation points. We got it, everybody. He's basically back on Twitter. If you follow him on TruthSocial, you can see him just tweeting witch hunt in all caps once again. Well, that's what he had to say. One of the things that we've brought up a couple times is the idea that they still have, which is totally untrue, that he can just declassify things by like scrunching his nose. He can do it after the fact. That's not actually true, but Joe Biden's been on a bit of a tear recently, as we're gonna get to later on the hour. He was actually asked about this theory, and here's what he had to say.
Trump said that he declassified all these documents. Could he have just declassified them all?
Well, I just want to know, I've declassified everything in the world. I'm president, I can do it all. Come on, declassified everything. I'm not going to comment on it because I don't know the detail. I don't even want to know. I'll let the Justice Department take care of it.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't want to know. I don't know. That's going to bother Trump as well. But look, if this is leaving you thinking that Trump is in a desperate position because he wanted the search warrant out and that didn't really help him, and then they wanted more details, then the nuke stuff came out and that definitely didn't help him, and they wanted the affidavit and that didn't help him. You might think, well, where do they go to now? There's nothing left to release. Well, there's one thing potentially. One of his followers, Jack Posobiec, truthed out, I think he actually tweeted this one: Trump must release the surveillance tapes immediately. So now the onus isn't even on the FBI, it's on Trump. And they're gonna find something on the tapes maybe to save him. I don't know what, something, anything, please something, God something, there's gotta be something.
Yeah. 40% of the country wants a criminal as their leader. What are we gonna do? There's nothing. They're all out of excuses. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. MAGA. Our dear leader can do anything. That's why we love America and democracy. I don't think you get it at all, you knuckleheads. No, I don't think your leaders should be able to steal our classified documents. It's not complicated.
The worst part for me, I mean, look, the affidavit just, again, everyone should read it, and especially MAGA people should absolutely read it and understand what kinds of crimes may have been committed by taking these documents out of where they were supposed to be and holding on to them and not, giving them over when they were subpoenaed for. But there's these words in like the potential violations, like whoever knowingly, whoever willfully, and that starts to scare me because we've established Trump's a raging idiot. And so the idea, like the sort of I'm sorry, officer, I didn't know I couldn't do that, Chappelle line. I feel like Trump has played that so many times. And here we have another instance. And I feel like he's, again, one of these is you cannot hold office ever again if you willfully remove these documents. Brilliant, amazing. Let's remove the threat of Donald Trump and torching our democracy yet again. So, but I think, of course, if he's got, I don't know, whatever possum squad he's rounding up for his legal defense, I don't know, like we'll see if they can fight it on that level. I just want to say on Biden, great response. Like it would have been very different had he said, I think we should take this all incredibly seriously. And this is, wow, what an affront to our, National Archives, I'm scared for my, no. He laughs it off and says, no, the DOJ is doing it. They're doing the job. And it puts so much daylight between him and the DOJ, something that the right doesn't think exists. Oh, no, Merrick Garland totally told him. And this was at the behest of Joe Biden. No, it wasn't. He's like, I don't know, let them deal with it. It seems silly to me, that whole argument that you can just wave a magic wand and declassify things. But anyway, next, I thought it was masterful.
Yeah, so last two things here. Look, Pat Ryan said the same thing that Richard Ojeda said on our air the other day. So Pat Ryan's the guy who just won in the New York 19th special election. So that was an election. He's now going to be a US congressman. It was not a primary, right? And he pulled off a 12-point upset against a Republican in that particular area of New York. And when he went on TV the next day, he's like, I had top secret classified information access. He's like, if I had done what Trump had done, I would be in prison right now, period, not even close, right? Ojeda said the same thing a week earlier on Rebel headquarters here in the TYT network. He put out a letter with Congressman Ted Lieu and others who served, saying we all had classified intelligence, we'd all be in jail right now. Why is Trump not in jail? So look, you put him on trial, and if he wants to make the defense that he's too stupid to understand words, okay, let him make that defense, okay? I look forward to it.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.